How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a fuel filter on the Skyline GTR. A Napa Gold, part number 3477, comes out of a Nissan J30, which I do believe has a 3.0 liter in it. That's the one we're going to be using. A little bit different than the 300ZX style filter, because on the little nozzle of this one, it's got a little bit of a hook on it. Let's take a look. So fuel filter on these Skylines here, located right there. So you got the engine, manifold, fuel filter. Yeah, that should be held on by two hoses, one at the top, one at the bottom there, and a couple little hose clamps. So we're gonna start working on that, take that off to begin with. All right, here's my trusty helper, Matt, working on the fuel filter. Two screws, one to begin with, right at the top there. Hose clamp on the line. Start by removing that. Pretty simple. Held on by a bracket in the middle, and there's also a hose clamp somewhere at the bottom there, if you can kind of see it. Not the best angle, but
usually recommend bleeding the pressure in the system first too. Unplug the fuel pump or the fuel pump relay and crank the engine over a few times, but we'll just go for it here.
Hopefully it doesn't spray everywhere.
Okay, we need another blend.
It's probably just straight seized on there.
There's a special type of plier that you can buy for this, but doing things on a budget for now, somewhat.
The half-assed way of doing things. Usually the only way of doing things.
Same outcome.
Shitty one, hey?
Yeah, it's stuck on there pretty good.
Okay, so we tried working on this fuel filter, pulling off these lines. These lines, I've done a few fuel filters in my day, and there's no way that these lines are coming off. Like, we pried on them. I pried on them so hard, they're almost starting to just rip off. So what we're gonna do, I think, is just end up cutting it with an X-Acto knife, kind of taking it off, see if we can end up using the length that we have, and then if not, we might just hit up Princess Auto, crappy tire, and try get some same length hose or same width hose and put some new stuff on there, because it's not happening. I don't think there's any way of doing it. We probably spent a good 20 minutes on it already, so I don't think this hose is coming off. Okay, so this hose right here is just like we're actually bending this bracket down here. Like, this hose is not coming off. We tried needle nose, bull nose, sticking a screwdriver in there. I'm not too sure what else there is to do, so we're gonna give her a little slice and dice there, and try go from there. See if we can salvage this hose up.
You got fuel.
Ooh, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of pressure in that, that's for sure.
Not much though. We're good.
Just yank it. Yeah, wow, unreal. So that's our slice right there. That's our slice right there, probably up to there. We're gonna try to just cut it off and see if we have enough length just to attach it back on, because yeah, there is no way that was coming off, and we were just burning too much time to actually give it a try. So worst case scenario, we'll just get a new hose, maybe rubber, maybe even braided if we can find one, but that's one way of removing your hose from your fuel filter. Unfortunately, that was the way that we had to go with this this time around. Okay, so we broke, or I guess I did. I broke that bottom little zip tie, what do you call that? Hose clamp off. And I think I finally got it. We had to remove the bracket. Well, we had to remove this bracket here too. This one is just holds the fuel filter in, but it was just getting in the way of things. So we just pulled that right out there. And now I think I'm pretty much got this fuel filter. Just got to really tug on it. Jesus. I thought I had it. This fuel filter's mine. Close. I know, it's right there. Oh, yes, I got her. So these things right here, how's it focus? These little pry bars, awesome. These things work really good. I highly recommend them. So.
There you go. I have a little bonfire with the extra gas.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what dirty this is. Always give him a nice little. Get some of the crud out there. A little bit gross on the fuel. I thought it actually was gonna be a little worse than that, but not too bad. All right, finally got that fuel filter back on. Yeah, 10-minute project ended up taking in probably a good half hour, 40 minutes. That's usually how it goes. Top hose, where we got that little rubber piece there? We ended up taking that piece off there. You can see the cut we made. Turned out pretty good. There was lots of extra hose left on the top, you can see. So yeah, there's no problem fitting that back on there with the extra hose. So yeah, if you can't get that off, I probably just recommend doing that. Otherwise, you're just gonna spend a bunch of time. So we got that back on. Bolt up there, bolt down there. I usually would probably recommend replacing the hose clamps on most vehicles because
These are garbage.
yeah, these factory ones are pretty shitty. And you don't want your fuel filter hose to pop off when you're racing your car, tracking your car, or even just dailing it, because fuel plus hot engine usually equals fire. So yeah, if you can, I would highly recommend changing it. These ones are pretty tough to get off. Hose wise, they're firm on there. There's no way that those are coming off. Even without those hose clamps, I had a tough time even pulling that hose off. Pro tip, do that bottom hose up and put the hose clamp on there before you put the top one on. Made that mistake, and yeah, it was kind of a pain in the ass to get that bottom one back on there, but once we did, we got that on there nice and tight. The other thing there, I don't know if I had mentioned, but we did remove that fuel filter bracket, so that's probably gonna be the last piece that we end up putting back in. Just a couple, what was that, 10 mil,
Yeah.
10 mil bolts on there, two 10 mil bolts, remove that. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Next step will be getting your fuel pump primed, and we'll show you how to do that. So what you're gonna do is turn the key 2 clicks, 1 click?
Yeah, to the on
Whatever,
position.
to the on position. From whatever you can hear the fuel pump in the back, you'll be able to hear kind of a buzzing noise or a humming noise. That means your fuel pump is pumping fuel back into your fuel filter. You're gonna wanna do that a couple times.
Interesting. I feel
So,
like this one
that's
was the pressure.
I was gonna say that's a pretty good pump on that fuel pump there. So yeah, you might do it a couple times. I don't think you have to do it too many more than a couple times. Diesel trucks are a little bit different, but with these vehicles, you probably get away with doing it a few times, and that'd probably be good enough.
It seems to, it's not even turning on anymore. It knows when there's pressure.
Really?
Because it ran for a lot longer that time than normal.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so maybe that's the case with these GTRs. I'm not too familiar, but it might sense how much pressure is already in the lines there. And you might just have to prime it the one time, and it might do the trick there. So let's give it a try, fire it up, see if we can get this thing started, if it fires up. That battery sounds a little bit on the low side.
Yeah.
Lame. The good old charging station. I'm thinking we got a power drain somewhere. Take 2. Take 3. 3 times the charm. Yeah. We need a new battery. while we're waiting for this to charge, happened to pick up a new air filter. So if you can remember, that was the old one. That's what we got for a new one now. So quite a bit of a difference there. Same thing, clip, clip, clip back there, one more there, 4 in total. Pull that back, slide it right in. And Bob's your uncle.
Hopefully.
Plus maybe a little bit of jimming in. Oh, that's the fuel filter. So I ended up finding something on a forum there. We ended up going with a Fram just because that's cheap. I think this was about 12 bucks. And it was the CA4309. So that was a direct fit for your factory air box. Quite a bit better than that. For 12 bucks, we'll probably maybe get an aftermarket intake at some point in time, but we just wanted something quick and easy and on the go, so we decided to swap that out. Part number's there. Fram, I'm sure you can cross-reference it with something else. I'm not too sure what else would fit in there or what other companies would make that style. I'm not too sure what vehicle it is. I just went from the number there. So that's it. Matt clipped in those little clips right there. That's really all it is. It's an air filter. Take 2, take 3. Take 3, take 2.
Yeah.
Take a lot of takes. We had the battery at the charge. Yeah, we weren't really prepared, so you'd probably be able to hear that. Didn't prime that much this time. We had primed it a couple times already, so once it's all primed up and you do that a couple times, start it up. Started up actually pretty good.
Very nice.
Pretty good. Let it run for a couple of minutes. Make sure that your filter is primed. Sometimes it will run for a minute and then stall out on you. And if that's the case, just do the same steps that we just did. Just start re-priming your filter a couple more times. Obviously, you didn't prime it up enough to begin with, and try starting it again.
Air bubble maybe.
Yeah, sometimes you get an air bubble in your fuel there. On diesel trucks, it's really bad. On these vehicles, they're pretty good. And that's basically it. That's how you do a fuel filter on your vehicle. Pretty easy. Thumbs up. Like down below, subscribe if you like this video and thought it was helpful. Tell us what you would like to see next. Peace.